What a wonderful, wonderful crowd here this afternoon. And those on the internet, much, much love to you. And those on the phone line, hello, and make sure you switch arms and don't... I've thrown my arm out before by just holding the phone for long periods of time. Well, this is a Chila meeting, and here we have new seekers here as well, and that's always going to be the case. And the type of master you have, I always feel insufficient in being a conduit for the great Shabda and the great sound current. I want you to know that. And for the new seekers, you've got a master that has a bleeding heart for you, because it's almost not fair. You come here to scope me out and check out the rest of the people. If I could sit down and maybe talk to you for 2 or 3 days and give you all the rudiments and the details and a general overview of what was going on, it'd be a lot better. I'd feel much better about it, but I can't do that. I've got you as a new person here. I've got intermediate students. I've got advanced students. I've got entities in their spirit form all around the auditorium here that have come from different planes to listen to the gathering and the satsang. There's just so many levels of truth that I must address simultaneously that it makes it extraordinarily difficult to talk to just one select group like the new seekers. So right off the bat, you have my heartfelt apologies. And I'm going to have to ask you to use your keen intelligence and your deep intuitive insight to glean the truth you need in listening to what I have to say and what touches your heart. For the new people, the MasterPath are the teachings of light and sound. The teachings of light and sound, it takes you years to fully comprehend how profound and magnificent they really are. It's just something you've never encountered before. You will hear many things that you've heard before, but in truth, it comes with an elite record. And there have been saints that have perpetuated these teachings in the past, all since the dawn of mankind. And if you need any reference to the light and sound teachings, just look up some of the older masters like Rumi and Hafiz or Kabir and Nanak, Sawan Singh, Swamiji, Seth Dale Singh. My own writings as well. If you need anything to help verify that this is not a New Age teaching, this is not a cult, this is not a religion, it is not a philosophy, it's not a psychic endeavor, it's not metaphysical in any stretch of the imagination. It's about the realization of your own essence, which we term the soul. The paths in the world are very blessed and they are needed. But across the board, they address the mind. The mind has 3 major levels to it, and so there's just thousands upon thousands of different paths that deal with religion, philosophy, spirituality. There's paths that deal with the chakras in the body for you new seekers. There's paths that have their origin on the astral plane that teach people astral truths. There are paths that begin on the causal plane, thousands of them, that deal with the karmas and cause and effect and how to bleed away your seed karmas. There's paths that deal in the mental realm, cosmic consciousness, and the transcendency of what we call the superconscious mind or the Nijmanas, or our divine mind. Okay, as beautiful as these teachings and paths are, as necessary as they are to the evolving soul, the light and sound teachings have nothing to do with them. They still address the bodies of man. They address the conditions that are indigenous to his life in these worlds of matter and time, space and energy. And they really don't apply to the soul. The MasterPath exclusively deals with the realization of the soul. And that at once is its biggest earmark. Self-realization and God-realization are the twin goals that a light and sound path deals with. For those of you that have been searching paths and looking for God, looking for truth behind every corner, in every dark room, under rocks, in monasteries, in libraries, for those of you that have studied the Sanskrit language so you can get down to the origins of truth, just so you get it from the horse's mouth, I tell you that you will not experience anything like you will in investigating the light and sound teachings. The truth is there, but our mind has not found it. And in the 21st century, it's coming out very strongly for all the public to see. For anyone who wants to pursue it, it's there for their investigation. And so those of you that are new, I most lovingly invite you, through, of course, your own will and your own decision, to investigate the works. And you just may find what you haven't been able to find in other endeavors. On the other hand, I quickly say this: the MasterPath or the Light and Sound teachings, what are you smiling about? Excuse me for that. The light and sound teachings are not for everybody. I stress this. It's not a mass teaching. It's for the individual that has been through the long and arduous road of personal discovery, and they've come up empty. They've almost become disillusioned. And it's for them, the ones that are duly prepared and ready, that resonate with the light and sound. As beautiful as these teachings are, the majority of human beings, in listening to a presentation by me or any other saint, would not be that turned on and that inspired with what they heard. And it is right that that is the truth. There is nothing wrong with that. That would be like saying there are second, third, and fourth graders that upon listening to a 12th grade teacher would not be inspired or would not know what he was talking about. It's the same principle. There is nothing wrong with that. Once those individuals go through the rest of their elementary school and their junior high school and get into senior high school, they will be aptly prepared and duly ready to resonate and relate and comprehend the great truths that saints speak about. Now, saints have always been here. There's never been a time when there has not been a Satguru or a saint on this earth giving out his teachings. But we must remember it runs counter to conventional and traditional teachings, such as Christianity. Now, I use Christianity a lot because it's one of the major religions in the world. I actually think Hinduism is a little more evolved. The same with Buddhism. But nevertheless, these are basically religions. And religious thought, traditional thought, states that it's the founding Savior that is important. Whether it was Buddha 2,500 years ago, or Jesus 2,000 years ago, or Krishna maybe even 5,000 years ago, they get attached to the founding saint of their religion, and as a result, they pledge all their love and devotion and loyalty to the founding saint. Now, this is very, very wonderful, but we run into a problem when we're talking about realization. The light and sound teachings, which are based upon the principle of God, demands that you have a living master at the helm to teach you all the ins and outs, all the byways of evolving in consciousness. And if your master is dead, no disrespect to one's master, Jesus or anyone else, but if your master is dead, you cannot get the living impulse and the living understanding that he can convey to you to help you understand what truth might be. And if we don't understand what truth is, we never can assimilate it or follow it or integrate it into our lives. So I openly welcome all of you that are here. I hope your idea of truth is stretched. And on the other hand, I apologize because I can't spend more time with you or speak directly to you about your personal problems. But if you listen closely, you might get a hint or an insight into something that is said.